This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report on Fox Sports Radio.
This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I'm your host, Coach B, and we're broadcasting from the InjuryFirmLaw.com studios on Fox Sports 1270 AM. And as always, we're streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. And make sure you check us out every Friday morning on Fox 11 TV. I'm excited about this. I've been on Fox Sports Radio for about 10 years. No, actually, it's going on 12 years now. What am I thinking about? 15 years total in sports talk radio. This is the first time I've ever had someone who understands and knows the game, and we're talking about pickleball. And I got Kim Jagd. She is the owner of the Coachella Valley Scorpions. And I just want to ask you, what was the motivation? What inspired you to bring professional pickleball out to the Valley?
Well, that's a loaded question there. I've been playing pickleball now for 15 years. I found the game and somebody put a paddle in my hand, and then I started training with a group of high-level tennis players here in the Valley, Marcin Ruspetsky and Morgan Evans and Scott Burr, and I just fell in love with the game. And then I just wanted to continue to help grow the game, not only just play it and take from it. I wanted to give to it. It's just a really great culture, the sport is. And so that's been my motivation all along. And then this opportunity for this senior pro league for me to buy a team, and I got some great co-owners, which we can talk about. It came about, and I was so excited, and here we are in our third season.
Yes, and I'd love to hear who was involved with you. Who got you off the ground to get the Scorpions here in the Coachella Valley?
Yeah, so it was really originally I wanted to be part of the first 6 that were in the league, and I was a little slow to the draw. So I reached out to one of my country club neighbors here. His name is Rob Zwemmer. He owns Zwemmer Realty, and he and I kind of started putting together this idea to buy a team. And so I went out to hunt around for some more partners, and I got my mother, who's enjoyed my sport since I was 2 years old, and she's also a partner in the company. And then I found another guy in Dallas. His name is Don Zucker. And he's also just loves and very passionate about pickleball and wanted to be involved. And then I happened to meet Vince Vaughn at the Manhattan Beach Country Club. And we were playing some pickleball. And my daughter was training his kids in volleyball. And so my daughter said, "Hey, Mom, tell Vince what you're doing right now." And I said, "Well, I'm putting together an ownership group to buy a professional pickleball team." And he said, "You are? That's cool. How can I be involved? How can I help?" And so now he's our majority stakeholder.
That's awesome. I love to hear that, to see that he got behind the Coachella Valley. But it's nothing like having Mom as an owner as well, right?
She travels to all of our events at 94 years of age.
Oh, God bless her. I love that. Tell me a little bit about this, where Vince was out there playing it. What about the growth? This is the fastest growing sport in America right now. Why has America fallen in love with pickleball?
Yeah, the sport's been around since 1965. But COVID was really the boost for the rocket ship that has taken off recently. There was nothing to do. And so people started catching this online that, hey, we could set up a net in our driveway or in our cul-de-sac, or we set it up in our garage and we're just hitting around. And I think that really did create the boom. It was always happening underlying, especially the pro game. Everybody was trying to really boost the pro game, but it didn't really happen until COVID struck. So if one good thing came out of COVID, it was the rise of pickleball.
We had to figure out something to do, right? So
that's right.
That is awesome. Now you have an event, and it's one night of pickleball showdown. What can fans expect when they walk into the show at Agua Caliente Rancho Mirage?
Right. Well, this will be our second year hosting this event at the show, and Agua Caliente puts on a great show, as you imagine. We will have quite a few opportunities. There's a VIP on-court experience that'll start at 3:30, and the VIPs get to come down on the court with us. So we're going to have 3 stations. One's going to be dinking with pros, so you actually get to hold a Yola paddle and dink with the pros and get some advice. Another station is going to be target practice, kind of, and with giveaways. So if the VIP hits the target, they're going to win something. And then we're going to have a third station with a radar gun. And this is always a really big hit in pickleball because everybody's trying to hit the ball really hard these days, especially with the rise of really great technology in the paddles. And so we're going to have a radar gun tech, and we're going to measure people's serves. And so the highest female recorded score, and the highest male recorded score is going to win a Yola paddle.
That's awesome. And once again, we have Kim Jagd on with us. She is the owner of the Coachella Valley Scorpions. Now, the roster, you all are unveiling the roster soon. Or tell us a little bit about that roster, some of those players we should be getting excited about.
Right. No, absolutely. I'd just like to finish up on the rest of the evening. We're going to have 4 matches after the VIP on-court experience. So we're going to have a mixed doubles match versus the expansion franchise called the LA Extreme. And that's going to pit the 2 top players, male and female, from each squad. And then we're going to have a tennis match, which we have dubbed Second Serve, because these are all professional past tennis players back in their day, including Pete Aldrich, who has won 2 Grand Slams. He won an Australian Open and a U.S. Open in doubles. Was a #1 ranked tennis player in 1990. And that's going to be a really cool match because they're now professional pickleball players. So you can see the conversion of tennis players to pickleball players. And then our third match is going to be our Celebrity Smash, which is going to be Terrell Owens, Jeffrey Lunick, who is a celebrity chef here that lives in La Quinta, Marcin Ruspetsky, who runs the Ruspetsky Tennis Youth Academy here in Palm Desert, and very famous Palm Springs Police Chief Andy Mills.
Yes, and that's going to be awesome. And when you talk about that, we can dig into your roster as well. But how has having someone like Terrell Owens, who we talked off air, I think is 1B. If Jerry Rice could be 1A, Terrell Owens is 1B. But how has that helped? You said he has aspirations in this game as well. How has that helped the growth of pickleball?
Oh, celebrities have been a real big part of the growth of pickleball, actually. It's a game that's quite easy to learn, but it's very challenging to master at the highest levels, as Terrell is finding out. He started, I think, just merely, 2 or 3 years ago, and he was an absolute rookie, really didn't know what he was doing, but his game is getting quite polished. He's taking lessons with a lot of great pros, and you can just see the athleticism and how great he's becoming. And he really does have an intense desire to be very, very good at this game.
And he's an awesome athlete, very physically strong athlete. And what has been the response for the Coachella Valley with pickleball?
Well, the Coachella Valley is very interesting, right? Palm Springs doesn't have a lot of country clubs, but it has parks where it's played. Demuth Park is one of your biggest locations where, pickleball is played. It's under renovation. It'll be done. It's going to have 24, 28 courts. It's going to be beautiful. In the more of the East Valley, we have lots of country clubs, and we're kind of siloed in our country clubs. And therefore, we have 100, 200 members of, pickleball players, and we have parks too. Fritz Burns Park in La Quinta and Freedom Park in Palm Desert. So pickleball is really popular in the Valley. I think it gets one of the top 2 or 3 things that people come to do here in the Valley. They love to play golf. They love to hike. They love to come to our restaurants. And then pickleball is really a top intriguing event, for people to come here. And, we're tourism based. So
right.
We love that.
Right. And that's why it's the fastest growing sport in America. And I'll ask you, what is the future of the franchise and the Championship Series Pickleball League? Where do you see the growth going with that? Having an owner like you in the league is exciting.
Well, this has been such a fun journey. We've really, really enjoyed the process. We just recently made a partnership with what's called Major League Pickleball, and that's where the young pros are playing team pickleball. And the partnership is really big for the senior pros to be, playing side by side with them, to show people that, you're not done at 30 playing this game. You can continue to play. You can continue to get better. Like I said, I'm in my 14th or 15th year, and I'm continuing to learn techniques and shots in this game, which is another reason why it's so intriguing. You never get bored with it.
And I tell you, you're preaching to the choir. I just turned 51 a week ago. So that's something I don't know if my knees can hold up, but I would love to play some pickleball. But and speaking of that, I've heard of the sport, but I'll be honest, I've never really watched the game. What can someone expect? I've been told it's like tennis and table tennis in one, but what can someone expect when they come out and see it live?
Well, I think especially at our event tomorrow night, you're going to see a lot of fun, a lot of engagement. There'll be music, there'll be giveaways. It's just going to be a lot of fun. They're not playing to win necessarily. They're playing to show off the game. show off and introduce our new teams, LA Extreme and the Coachella Valley Scorpions. It's going to be more of a fun, festive environment tomorrow night.
That's awesome. And, you said you have a personal mission. We talked about it a little bit over here in the Palm Springs area. We don't have the facilities, but you have a personal, and I think you can get it done. I mean, you brought pickleball to the Valley, but tell me about what's going to be your mission?
Well, I really, I see pickleball as an indoor sport. Everybody else loves to play it outdoors. I get that. But a plastic ball with 40 holes in it is very affected by just even 2 or 3 miles an hour of wind. And then the sun is also, a big effect. There's a lot of lobbing in our game now, and you look up and you get blinded. Really what I'd like to do is, top of my mission board is to see us build an indoor facility here in the Valley that can not only host pro events, but amateur events. It could be a pickleball academy for the youth. And it can be a community asset for our year-rounders that also have kids here. And I mean, I don't know what the kids do here in July through October. It's just got to be really tough for them. But this could be home base for them.
Right, and it's absolutely it gets hot, and you're talking. I want to talk directly to the people out there. Tell them a little bit about the event. Once again, that event will take place July 9th, and it's going to be at Agua Caliente Rancho Mirage. It will be in their venue. So that event, the doors open. The doors open at 5 p.m. Exhibitions start at 5:30, but at 3:30 you have the VIP. Terrell Owens is going to be there. Did I mention that? Terrell Owens is going to be there. One of the greatest to ever do it. It'll be at the show at Agua Caliente. But talk to everyone. What are you excited about most, and what is something they can't miss for the fans out there?
Well, we're going to present the 2025 championship trophy and the team to the audience. As kind of a homecoming event. So that's how we're going to start off the actual event at 5:30 is introducing the champs, and we're going to present the trophy to the audience as theirs. Tim O'Brien mentioned it to me, but we're the first professional sports team to win a championship here in the Coachella Valley. And when he said that to me, I got goosebumps. And so we're really proud of what we've accomplished. But we've got more to do. We've got a lot more to do. We want to bring it even more to the Valley. And
talk a little bit about that. That's a little thing that I missed in my research. So your team won the league championship last year.
Yep, we sure did. It was so much fun. We got to play Seattle in the finals. And one of my players, his nickname is the Spinja. He has this crazy left-handed inside-out serve. He created an ace, and our whole team jumped out on the court, and they threw confetti at us and champagne and a trophy and a check for $50,000. So it was pretty cool.
You can't beat that. And one thing I know you had she's pressed on time, but one thing I have to ask you, and I just got to know this. I mean, when you had this wild idea to bring pickleball to the Valley, winning the championship, doing world-class events at Rancho Mirage, Agua Caliente, how does this feel for you? You've got to feel accomplished.
I do. I've got a real sense of pride of building this business. We've got great owners and great help. But it really has been a labor of love, and I just want to see the sport grow, and I'm really proud to bring this championship to the Valley.
And that's awesome. And your daughter spoke up for you and got Vince Vaughn involved. You can't beat that. And you have mom involved. That is, it's a total family affair. And then you have great partners. That's totally awesome. I love to hear it. For anyone who can make it out, July 9th, they will be at the show at Agua Caliente and Rancho Mirage. Your defending champions.
Yes.
It's going to be the Coachella Valley Scorpions. We look forward to covering it. Love what you're doing. Please keep us updated on everything that's going on. I think I've got the bug. I've got to come out and learn some pickleball.
Well, I'd be happy to oblige. I'll get you a paddle and we'll get out on the court. How's that sound? And then you can review it on your show.
That sounds awesome. I totally love it. Thank you so much for your time. I know you got to go. You have an amazing.
Thank you very much, Brian.
Thank you so much. You have an amazing day.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
KFSQ 1000 Palms, Palm Springs. This is your home for the best sports talk in the Coachella Valley. Fox Sports 1270 AM, Palm Springs.